Good morning. Thank you for joining me in my shop here this morning. It's November 11th here, and I'm about to get going on this radio again. So, yesterday I explored the question of antennas. I'm not sure I really got all the way down to the brass tacks, but nevertheless I think I have a solution that's going to work anyhow, which is simply to install this loop in the radio. And it doesn't look like the antenna is so carefully tuned in this radio, so that's what we're going to do. Now, with that loop connected, I'm in a position to align this radio really for the first time, to properly align it. After aligning it, we'll see if the spurious signals are still in existence. I'm pretty sure they will be. Then we'll go back to dealing with the special capacitor and see what we can do with that to try to quell the weirdness that goes on in this radio and others. Okay, so that's the plan today. So first step will be attach this antenna in some kind of permanent way. I think it's going to end up vertically, or is that the right word for it? Installed this way into the top of the radio. Now, normally these loop antennas are like this. So like this, I'm not sure how well they work, to be honest with you. Maybe it's time for a little experiment of that sort, but not to dwell on that. The main thing is to have an antenna connected so the alignment will be done in relationship to the antenna, if there is any alignment issues that relate to the antenna. So I'm going to need to extend these wires, solder them on, and away we go. I thought I would take a quick look at the antenna before I start doing stuff, and every time you look at this, maybe you see a little more than you saw last time. So this is the connection I think I've been connecting to while I've been working on the radio. Or is it? This isn't. If it is, then the wire I've been hooking up to is not the wire that connects to this. That's down here. So what have I been hooked up to? Perhaps the wire I've been hooked up to is really this. So if that's the case, when I switch to shortwave, because right now this is shown in the broadcast position, this switch would flip, and then all of this is disconnected, except for this little coil. If you were to flip this, oh, here we go. Flip the switch here, so now we're listening to short wave. It's trying to pick the short wave up from here. So it's trying to gather a bit of signal from this wire. No, it can't be the case. No, it can't be the case. Okay, well, you know what? It's just a pile of nonsense in my head here. That's about what it amounts to. Funny, I just cannot sort this out. Somehow I cannot make it work for me. What I'm concerned about here is I'm going to hook up this antenna, and there's 3 wires sticking out the back, and I want to make sure I hook the loop antenna to where it's intended to go. So one connection is this wire. I can find that wire without a doubt. Well, that's kind of weird. They make a connection here. That's not weird, Jim. It's just the way they drew the schematic. Okay, so one side anyway is going to ground. That's easy to figure out. Well, I could just try the other 2 wires, but I'm going to try to identify this wire. But if I find this wire, this is maybe all I'm going to find is this. This may not exist. This may be on the schematic, but it may not exist in reality. These 2 points here could be the same thing. And I have to find this. This is the real input to the radio. What if I've been doing this wrong all this time? So it goes straight into the switch. Okay, maybe I've been doing things wrong the whole time. Well, I've ended up paralyzed here. I thought I would take a little quick scan of the schematic and then just figure out which wires I should attach my semi-permanent loop antenna to. There's 3 wires coming out the back here. This isn't complicated, only 3 wires. And one of them goes right to the chassis, so there's really only 2 wires to consider. And would you believe I cannot sort it out, just 2 wires? And I think the reason is this radio doesn't match the schematic. So what I've done is I've done a pictorial drawing showing the location. This is how I do it anyway. First I make a pictorial drawing of what I see in the radio, and then I can kind of twist this into a more of a schematic look if I wish, or just compare this to the schematic. And when I do, it doesn't match at all. Like, you know, just I'll give you for instance. So this wire, this is the wire I've been connecting to as the antenna the whole time I've been working on the radio. That's this wire here. And it goes through a hole into the chassis, and it comes through the hole and meets up with this coil that's been wrapped around the wire very tightly, and then goes to a switch. So antenna wire goes to a switch, passing this on the way. Let's take a look at the schematic now. So here we are over here. We could say this is the antenna wire. Passes through a coil and then goes to a switch. Wait a minute, no it doesn't. It goes to a capacitor and then another coil. No, in my radio it goes to a switch. I don't, there's no 2 ways about it. The sound you're hearing is a cat poking around in my shop. So, you know, big X on this. This isn't helping at all because it's misleading. And this is a really, look at this, is really busy here. Coil, 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 coil. Wow. It's definitely, this is definitely the coil that I'm considering. Are they showing a capacitor right there? Well, I guess this is probably the capacitor I changed underneath the radio, underneath this coil. Okay, not to get off and all kinds of weird. I'm upset here. I'm very upset. How are we going to sort this out now? Jeepers. Let's take a look at the radio again. I mean, in the end, we can use empirical methods and just try this and try that. I mean, there's only how many combinations? There's only 2 possible combinations here, because I'm sure the ground wire is involved. Chassis ground wire. So yeah. So if this is the way it is, what is here? So we have this antenna connection connected to the switch. So probably the switch would be activating this antenna during shortwave. Yet I've been using this on broadcast quite successfully. So this is the antenna coil that we want to be energizing. I kind of see a path through this and then back through this capacitor over to here. And we have this wire coming out. It's really not, it's connected to this. Oh my gosh, what are they doing here? That's only got a little bit of the circuit. We'd have to figure out how this antenna coil fits into the whole picture, and I don't know if I can just look at it and figure that out. Oh my gosh. Is the coffee ready? I think the coffee's ready. Whoa, sorry, did I step on you? Stepped on a cat here. Okay, another headache. Okay, so I'm going to take the experimental approach. We'll just try it. There's only, well, if one of the connections to the antenna is the chassis connection, like it shows on the schematic, if that's how this is going to work, then there's only 2 possible other connections. And just connect the other wire to either here or here. It should make not a lot of difference too. Let's find out what happens here. So we'll flip on the radio. Maybe we'll even try with just 1 wire connected. Why not? Now I have this loop energized here. I do now. So this is hooked up to the outdoor antenna, and this is radiating a fairly strong signal. So obviously we rotate this, we're bringing this closer and farther away, and not just so the coupling is very loose. I just need it to be stable when I go to do the test. Okay, here we go. So we're on the broadcast, man. Tune something in. Looking for the French. Closer together. Anybody. Well, okay. I think we have the answer there. One wire, not enough. Okay, so, of course, one wire connected to ground. Yeah, that's not going to work. Oh, well. Okay, so we're going to go the way I've been doing this the whole time to this wire. An exciting result so far. Wow. The interference is just terrible. Very strange. Okay, so that's it there. Not working so well. We'll try the other wire here. Okay, got a station. Let me put this back the way I've been doing this the whole time. More noise, less signal. So this is 740, I'm pretty sure we're tuned to. Still hear the swooshy sounds, of course. Well, so let's stand this antenna up. That noise is so weird. So just tipping the antenna, it seems to have pushed the noise away. So the radio works like this. I'm not saying it works good, but it works. So I'll make this the connection. I might make this a more permanent connection here. So permanent, temporary, and then we'll move on to aligning the radio, and then we'll see what we got. Okay. Once again, I have a plan. It's a standoff. Shadow the black cat. She doesn't get along so well with the little ones. I call this working on the contract. Whoops. I guess that's over. Good deal. Nothing happened. Contract is coming along great. Shadow. What are you doing? Yeah, I know just what she's doing. She's keeping an eye on the little kittens. Okay, so I'm going to change the pace just for a minute here and talk about something a little bit personal. In Canada, on November 11th, we celebrate a day called Remembrance Day. And it's really about the First World War, but it's been generalized to really So today is November 11th. November 11th in Canada is Remembrance Day, and what we're remembering on November 11th is the World War I, in fact, is what we're trying to remember, and the soldiers that fought in World War I. for Canada, and but you know, now we kind of consider World War II and Korea and other things that Canada's been involved in. We sort of roll it all together, and today we pay homage to the soldiers who volunteered to do this kind of stuff. One of those soldiers was my father. My father fought in the Second World War. He fought with an outfit called the Queen's Own Rifles, or the QOR, Queen's Own Rifles of Canada. And he landed on D-Day, like so many other soldiers. But unlike the vast majority of soldiers, he landed in the first boat. The Canadians landed on a beach called Juno, and about 400 of them in 10 boats, so about 40 men per boat. And the boats landed on the beach. The beach was about a kilometer or so wide, as I understand it, and the boats were about a football field apart. So contrary to what you might imagine, it's a pretty lonely affair landing on a beach like that. And my father was in one of the first boats. The Queen's Own Rifles suffered greatly during that landing. I think it's the one unit that suffered the most in the Second World War, although there are other units that suffered terribly too. But it was something like a 50% casualty rate crossing the beach. Fortunately, that wasn't my father's fate. He continued fighting in the Second World War for a year, actually maybe a little more than a year, and then returned to Canada. And not in the best shape, from what I understand, because I wasn't around, and no one really told me this until I was later in life. He came back quite thoroughly shell-shocked from the whole experience. So anyway, he lived a good life, became a high school teacher, taught mathematics, retired from teaching, and spent his time on the golf course right up until he couldn't, and then he passed away a few years ago in long-term care, suffering from dementia, unfortunately. So, but here's something very interesting about my father. My father was photographed along with a couple other soldiers outside of the city of Caen when Caen was being attacked by the Allies and trying to push the Germans out of the city. And this photograph was taken by a news guy. I guess it got in a magazine. It eventually wound up in the Canadian Archives. So if we go to the Canadian Archives and type in my father's name, or my last name, this picture will pop up, and that's kind of neat because that'll be there forever. So I'm going to show you a picture here now. So this was issued today, apparently, in Remembrance Day. One of the things we do in Canada is we use this poppy here as a symbol. So on this day, everyone's wearing poppies and the like. And this is a picture of different soldiers doing different things, and they're all part of the Queen's Own Rifles. This is the Queen's Own Rifles symbol. I have a couple of these around in a box somewhere from my father. We'll just zoom in on this picture a little bit. I'll just show you around. So, you know, these are obviously World War, well, these look like World War I soldiers based on their helmet. And different fighting groups, all part of the Queen's Own Rifles. Different pictures. Now, this is a house on the beach in France, and this is called Canada House now, and it's still there. And this is right where my father landed. My father landed about 150, 200 meters to the right of this building, something like that. So here's a picture of 3 soldiers outside of Caen, and they're looking at a map right here. And this guy's name is Charlie Martin, and this guy is my father. That's my dad right there. This would have been taken about 3 weeks after D-Day or so. And what they're actually looking at is a minefield map, and they're considering how to cross the minefield or something like that. Bit of a posed picture. There's the background's been removed here, but anyway, there's my father. His picture is showing up this year on the Queen's Own Rifles celebratory card or picture or whatever. There we go. Okay, so that's enough on Remembrance Day, and let's get back to the radio now. Oh man, I'm going to step on one of these cats at some point. No. Too much chewing going on here. Come on. I'm looking for trouble. Oh, there's something more to chew on. Oh my gosh. Okay, enough. I'm just totally distracted by these cats constantly here. So, okay, now not like I need any kind of distraction. That's for sure. Okay, so what I've got here, I've got the sweep generator running and sweeping through the IF frequency. I've got it almost connected. It's supposed to go here, and then it'll pass its sweep signal through the IF, and we should be able to see it. So I have the scope hooked up here, but as you can see on the picture that's up here, the camera that's covering the scope here, not looking too good. Big hum on there. Well, it may or may not be important once we get going. The problem here is I've got the antenna hooked up with the ground on the chassis, and then I have a ground from my scope, which I would kind of like to put on the B-, but no, I'm not going to put a ground in two different places. That would be bad news. So I've forced to ground the scope on the chassis too, and voila, I get this hum. Well, let's give it a try. Maybe it'll go away. What if I hook this up? This won't make it go away. It can't possibly make it go away. Okay, so what we're seeing too is the sweep result. The sweep on the scope is not from the scope itself, it's coming out of my sweep generator here on this cable. Okay, well, let's just give it a go. Kind of mysterious that this is drifting. Usually hums are fixed. Well, I guess it's because the sweep is related to this. And if I just adjust this a little bit, we'll probably find that thing will just change speed and everything. See, totally no. Okay, don't know what's going on. Let me set this back. So 455 is right in the middle of the sweep now, and it's sweeping out about 30 kilohertz either side. That's what this will be. Minus 30 plus 30 with 455 in the middle. That's the theory. What if I flip this to 1? Ooh, wow. Yeah, let's leave it at times 10. What I'm looking at is the input to the volume control with the scope, and that should show us the IF output. You really want to just see the DC. So looking at this on a scope's a little... No, I'm doing a sweep thing. Jim, wake up. You know what? It's the cat's fault. It's because I'm so distracted. Okay, I think we're ready. What am I waiting for? There we go. So for some reason this got slightly bigger, but it didn't go away, of course. I may have to change this around so the two grounds are on the B-. Whoa. Okay. Taking a while for the audio to catch up. Well, that's quite a display. Now I'd expect to hear a buzz because the sweep is sweeping past the tune point, and this thing's tuned to an extreme. It's in tune to the low end of the band. Okay, we don't have to listen to this. We have to look at that display. Oh yeah, that's going to be good for alignment. Oh my gosh, there's some kind of ringing going on here. What was that? Did I touch something? Two cats fighting at my feet here. Maybe they're causing problems. This is really not going to work out so well. Let's tune the radio and just see what happens if I tune it. Because this display is not going to... Well, not with that, with this. This display is not going to work out. Oh my gosh, all kinds of weird stuff there. And where did it all go? Explain it. Is the sweep actually going? Yes. Of course it's going. Okay, so what do we make the scope much less sensitive and make the signal much higher, or higher anyway, higher. Okay, things look a little more like what I would want. Really want this to come across, dip down, and come back up, or maybe come across and go up. It doesn't matter. This funny shape here is not so good. We can assume at the moment. Oh, we can't. Let me center this. We can assume 455 is actually in the dead center of my scope, but not necessarily. Let's twiddle some of these adjustments and see what happens. Start with the second IF transformer. Wow, look at that. Okay, do the other. That was the primary or the secondary. This will be the secondary or the primary. Whoa. And we'll do the other one, and we'll find out what frequency we've actually set this up on afterwards. Okay, very nice curve now. They all seem to want to be right there. What's this thing crawling along here? I don't know. Okay, now we want to find out what frequency this is. So I'm going to add in another signal generator. Wait a second. Everybody hold the fort. I never hooked up the signal generator. So it's just picking this up from the antenna, which is probably okay. Okay, let me turn it down and do this the way they want it. Right on here. Not much different. No difference. Let's leave it that way. Okay, good enough. We're going to try to figure out where this dip is frequency-wise. Right, so I need another. Right. Once again, it's the cat's fault. It's all their fault. So I'm just going to kind of parallel this one in. Oh, parallel it into what? I don't have the other one connected. Well, we'll just do the same thing with it. The radio is sensitive enough to pick up the sweep, it'll pick up the single frequency one also. Maybe. So we're going to end up with something like what you see crawling across here right now. In fact, I'm going to full screen the scope, and I think it is just a little bit better to look at. So I'm going to see this pip here, this thing going by. I'm going to do something like that with the other signal generator. Okay, so here we go. So get right down close. Here we are close. And we're looking for, and I have this, just a sec here, I gotta make sure this is all, well, there's almost no signal strength coming out. Jimmy, what's gone wrong here? Oh, this is the problem here. Hold on. Okay. Now we've got some signal coming out. I've got a strong signal coming out. Okay, so we can see it here. See it right here, this wiggle? I'm going to make the wiggle show up down here. It'll get quite wiggly. And I can just kind of look at it and by symmetry set it. Okay, so now the frequency of the other signal generator is right at this point. We can take a look at what it says. Let me just flip cameras here. You can hear one of my cats making a mess in the litter box. 449. Okay, it's supposed to be 455. So what we'll do, we're going to move this to 455. And where's the bip? You can still see the spot. Okay, so it's right in this bend. This is where we want this peak. We want this peak in this bend. That's going to be the challenge. And what are you looking at? Wait a minute. I thought I was going to put this on full screen. I didn't click this button here. Okay, so the wiggle is right in the bend here, and we want this to be over here. That's the idea. That's my goal. Okay, so I'm just going to do those IF transformers. Now I noticed two particular screws really moved this. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to try to boost it up. Okay, I'll do the other transformer. Just I have to go back and forth a few times to get this over to where I want it. So that would be the spot. You can actually see the symmetry and the interference from the other signal generator. Okay, now we want to make that as big as possible. Big as possible. With a nice shape. Now the shape is funny. Like it's high on this side and low on that side. I seem to see this all the time. It's possible it's the AVC in the radio doing that. I don't know. Okay. Now we're just trying to make it as deep. What's it jumping around for? Deep as I can get it. Just going by the screw. Ooh, baby. That's what I like. Now over this way. You can hear the radio coming to life too. Let's see if we can make it look a little nicer. It's a funny looking thing right now. What's going on there? I can't get my tool into the screw. There we go. Well, that's happening there. We have one more that's way out here, I think. I think that's what's going on. Maybe this one. I don't like the shape. I like the place, but not the shape. Okay, let's see. We can just keep fiddling around here. Or is that something that's tuned in? Let me. Oh my gosh. Okay, so I'm tuning up band and back down again. Why does it make such a huge difference here? So I'm going to tune up band a little bit. I'm going to increase the signal. Whoop, what happened there? Carry on. Oh, come on. Okay, here we go again. Where's the wiggle? The wiggle's hard to see now. Meanwhile, I could just hear the cats causing various kinds of destruction throughout my house in the background. Okay, here we go. Good question would be, would you want to sacrifice the precision in the frequency in order to get a deeper null here? That's kind of what's happening right now, I think. Because I think really the spot is over here, not where it is. It's over here a little bit. You can see from the wiggle. Just keep going here. So if you get a really sharp IF, that can cause problems. You can have oscillations start up because the thing is just too hot, and you can also lose treble because the bandwidth is too small. Pretty close now, eh? Just come on, a little further over. Trouble getting the tool into the screw. There we go. If it goes to the right spot, then it drops off. Let's go for a maximum. We'll do a little compromise here. That's pretty good. Right there. got it right in the spot now pretty well. And we'll find out in a moment. And this last one. I'm barely moving the screw anymore. Okay, I'm going to move the signal generator frequency and it doesn't want to wiggle right. It's wiggling at the bottom. It's just very hard to see. It's here, going back, coming forward. Very hard to see. And I have not got any more juice to apply. I have maximum. Oh, you know what? Nothing's actually applied. This is just laying here near the. There, that's better. So I'm injecting just a little more of the fixed frequency. I'd say that's the spot there. I'd say that's the spot. So we'll take a look at our. Where do we get to? So right here, 453. This is usually one number low. It's really 454. I'm not going to get any closer than that. I think that's good. I think that's good. Okay. That's done. I think now we turn our attention to the AM broadcast band, I think. Come on, cats, let's get out of here. Okay, I think I'm ready for the first step. So I have the radio tuned to 1500. According to the dash mark here. So there's 3 dashes here, or three lines inscribed on this plate. 1, 2, and 3. They're pretty close together. The first one is the 1500. You had to read the instructions very carefully to sort that out. So radio's tuned to 1500. Signal generator is just about 1500. I'll turn it up here a bit. And let me put on the 1000 hertz modulation, so we'll hear a tone. So we're practically at 1500. I don't hear anything. I already know where it is. It's way down here. So 1414. And you can watch the. So this is going to show the AVC voltage, and I think I have to move this, or I'm going to be standing right in front of it here. Yeah, how come it's gone off scale low? I'm not exactly sure. It could be because the ground, I know what it is. So I'm grounding the meter on the chassis instead of the B minus. I'm just staying away from the B minus right now. This isn't the best way, but this will still work. So, have I not got this on I got this on negative. Zero is just way, way, way off on my meter. How can that be? How can that be? Let me, that's the 0. In fact, if I ground this right out, it's pretty close. You'd expect a negative voltage here, not a positive voltage. I have this on a negative setting, so negative voltage goes up scale. Has to be something to do with the way I've connected the ground on the meter. And you know what? It won't hold, because I think that big capacitor I stuck in there is charging or something like that. This is not going to work out well. I can't do it like this because the meter's not steady. Okay, got to change. I got to hook up to the B minus on here. I'm pretty sure that's what I have to do. Okay, sounds like coffee break time to me. Okay, I think we're ready to go here. So now I have the B minus connection made with this red clip lead. Should give us a better reading on there. The signal generator is not attached to the radio, it's just using a loop here, so there's no ground connection made from the signal generator. Otherwise I'd have to make it also to the B minus, or interesting things could occur. Now I'm in an isolation transformer, so probably actually nothing too interesting would happen. But if this were plugged in the wall, and I put 2 grounds in it, one on the chassis and one on the B minus, again, maybe nothing too exciting would happen, but I don't plan to find out. Okay, everything should be warmed up. I see we got a reading on here, and I don't have. Let me turn on the modulation over here. There we are, so we can hear it. Now the objective is to adjust these two to bring this up at the right frequency. So we're at the wrong frequency right now, 14. So we're going to work our way up to 15 here. I'm pretty sure this is the oscillator. Yeah. You can hear it retuning. Okay, so we're going to work our way up. Find out which way to turn this. That way. Turn it a long ways. We're not going to get there. We are not going to get there. Open this guy right up. It can't get any more open, and that's where we're getting 475. So let's do a little study here. How bad is that? I'll put this on 15, and we'll find where it is. There's a little mark right here where it's supposed to be. Oh my gosh, it's nowhere. It's right there. That's perfectly fine. Okay, now we look over at the meter here. That signal generator says 14, 15. So we're going to tune the radio and make this come up as high as we can. And that's where it is already. Okay, and now we're going to adjust the other adjustment here and try and make that meter come up. There's something a little weird about that. I kind of turned the screw and then a moment later the meter went up. Maybe it's just kind of like dirt in this thing. Ooh. Well, kind of mysterious to me. It's going all over the place. What did it go way down for? Wasn't it way up a moment ago? So the radio's probably retuned itself or something. What happened? What's happening there? So I have this capacitor right open. So at this point, this becomes kind of wild because there's nothing holding it in place. So I'm going to close this down until it starts to squeeze. Even though that's going to knock the frequency off a little bit. We already saw it's not much. Is that stabler? Looks like it. Okay, now we'll try and adjust this one here. Going down. All it wants to do is be wide open. So we're getting basically no effect from this. It's possible it's because the antenna is not appropriate. That's possible, and that's what's happening. But how did it come way up here at one point? Because I didn't retune the radio after tightening this. Oh ho ho. Where's all that sound come? Oh, way down there. Down in our rec room. They found a Christmas ornament from last year, probably underneath a piece of furniture. That's what you're listening to in the background anyway. 2 busy kittens. Actually, they're already small cats. Now once again, we'll tune the radio and make sure this is up maximum. Okay. And now we'll try tuning this. Still wants to go open. So So if you close it at all, it just goes down. Not much. It's not making much difference at all. Again, bad loop antenna, probably the case. So we'll go up. Leave it like that. Now, I think that's all there is. I'm going to check here for aligning the broadcast band. No, that's not true. Now we have to do the pattern. This is this one we were doing here is in parallel with the tuning capacitor. There's another one that's going to be in series with it that we have to do. Number 18. I'm looking on the chart for where is adjustment 18. 18. There's 18A. Was there an 18B? There's 18 and 18A. They're located on the back here, through these holes. 18 and 18A. So 18 is the lower one, 18A is the upper one, and the one I want is, I've lost track of the instructions here. Where'd they go? Here we are. The one I'm after is number 18, just 18. So again, double checking here. Got to look there. What was that? What was that sound? What happened here? This is going way up, and the radio's getting louder and louder. What is going on there? What happened there? I can't blame it on the cats. So the signal generator's very stable. It's not going anywhere. The only thing that might be unstable is the radio. It's stable now, but it went way up. Well, let's do the tap test here. Something with just the right amount of oomph to it. How about a glass rod? Yeah, let's bang around with a glass rod. Listen. So it's hard to tell, but some of the sound is coming out of the speaker. This funny duck quacky sound. Something's loose. Everything is loose. Ooh, bingo. How did that happen? What? I was tapping what? I was tapping this tube here. Oop. Something weird going on. Going up. It's getting better and better all on its own. So that could be a tuning thing. Maybe it's drifting across the tune point, but that's pretty high now. That's almost 15 volts of AVC voltage. I'm just cranking it too hard from the signal generator. Let's reduce it. Is any of this stuff causing the effect? Well, you got me. Let's tune the radio again. Okay. What? Now we're going to do 18. So 18 is done at the other end of the band. 18 is done at 5. Hold on a second here. Is done at 580. 580 is the, let's see, it says tuning condenser closed is 580. Pointer position with the tuning, okay. The second line over is 580. It's very confusing how they wrote it in the thing. So here's first line, and the second line's right here. That should be 580. Well, is it? Is it 580? 580. It's a weak 560. Okay, so I'm going to jack this up. I'm going to move this up. Now we're going to adjust that pattern. It was the lower one, right? This is my steady wood. Steady everything. Going in the rear here. Okay, so what should happen? This should be an oscillator adjustment. So we should get a little louder, figure out which direction. This way. Go a little past. It's supposed to be 580. Isn't that right? 580. The 580. Let me just. Yes, 580. Oh, I'm almost there. 580. Right there. Okay. I'm going to max it out. Now it's time to watch the meter. That's 580. Roll tuning condenser. This procedure, I never really get it right, but the idea is we try different positions of the tuning condenser and this guy and see if we can't get even more on that meter. So here we go. Not really getting more. We're way off the spot now, though. So go back to the spot. We're way back here. No, it's just as high as anywhere else I tried. Hard for you to watch the meter and appreciate what's happening because I'm moving two things and I know what I'm doing, but you don't know what I'm doing precisely. Well, it just doesn't get any better, I don't think. So there we are. So we're receiving 580 now, and roll tuning condenser when pattern 5. No, that's on the short wave. So I think we're done the broadcast band. So now we want to actually listen to this radio. Okay, so I'm going to cut this guy off here. And we're going to want to utilize the loop, my hanging loop here. So again, it's going to be antenna to antenna for sure. I still have this meter connected. Careful, man. Okay, rolling fairly close here. Okay, radio, what do you do now? It's a whole pile of nothing. Oh, wait a minute. This is not turned on. Okay, let's try again. Well, it's not exactly jumping out at me. I'm going to put this into a closer coupling here by just laying it right on top.
And so it snowballed in the best way possible, and I've crossed the country. I think it's been 3 times now in the car.
So this is 590, and the 580 mark is right there. So 590 at 580, that's fine. What is this interference? Now, one of the things I did was I did not solder the antenna right in. I put a clip lead on it so I can move it. Three. Two. So much for my theory back here. We're back on the wrong wire, supposedly. 3. Okay, having done that, we're going to try this again. First, tune the radio and watching the meter. 4.
Dans la vie, là, c'est un parcours du combattant en soi, je crois. Quel ajustement a été le plus pénible pour vous dans ce parcours-là? Mon ajustement à moi a été, en fait, peut-être très différent de d'autres vétérans parce que moi, j'ai recherché tout de suite l'adrénaline et je suis retournée en Afghanistan. Je suis devenue travailleuse humanitaire, en fait. Et donc, moi, j'ai recherché la mission à tout prix. Les camarades à tout prix, les êtres humanitaires, vivre avec. C'est absolument l'esprit d'une... C'est plus de l'esprit d'une école, mais on perd, en fait,
well, I'm trying to get all I can out of this radio, and it's, with the antenna missing. Yeah. Okay, so now it's time to do the shortwave side of things. Yeah, okay. Break time and then shortwave time. Okay, let's take a look at the shortwave band now. So I still have the outdoor antenna loop interacting with the... Oh, this antenna shouldn't do anything anymore. Oh, but it will because it's connected to here. But really I should have the outdoor... Let's try this and see what happens. Ooh, that doesn't sound too good. Well, I'd say a whole lot of nothing. That's a little unnerving. I think something might come through, but now we're going to make this connection properly. So now I have a ground connected to the B minus. Don't think I want to hook up this ground. What happened? I'll probably get a hum doing this. I don't know. Let's see. So that ticking sound is not a hum. That's interference coming in on the antenna. Do we get anything like this? Well, the answer would be no. Am I doing something wrong here? I don't think so. Very hard to tune. There we are. It's picking up something. Okay, I'm sure if I connected this, why don't I connect it to the B minus too? Why don't I take this meter off for now? What should I do? Okay, I'm going to disconnect the voltmeter here. Oh, jeez, I hate that. Okay, and I'm going to connect this to the chassis, basically.
Now, he didn't come there as a tourist.
That got better.
He didn't come to have a fun week of riding.
It's just not a noise. It's just terrible, isn't it? So I hear this on all my radios, all over in the evening when I'm listening. Sometimes this is going to. Some of my radios have a noise reduction. It's really intended to cut out engine noise from years ago when car engines and the spark system would cause noise. This kind of stuff, I turn on that noise limiter, it cuts it right off. It's really impressive. And then the more modern radios don't have that feature, and you can't get rid of this. So it's the only case where the noise reduction in old radios is effective. Is this kind of stuff, which is not going to get anything down there. Still have these weird things, which I have not investigated, and not picking up much at all. So this noise is so strong, it's literally knocking. It's really probably setting back the, causing the AVC to set back the radio's sensitivity here. I don't know. Hey, what if I put the antenna on the other wire? I better tune something in. I don't think it's helping. Wow. That's tricky to find that. Just worse noise. Better off with the ground not connected. Okay, ready to line this thing. It's basically one thing, 15 megacycles, 18A, and okay, so we want to tune this to the 15 mark. Now I got to read the instructions very carefully. So we have 1500, 15 megacycles, and the last line is 15.5. So 15 is here. There's 3 lines, 1, 2, 3, right there. So the middle line is the one we want. That should be 15 megacycles. Is it really? I don't know. Let's find out. Turn this back on. And here's the output from it. And in this case, we are going to take it off the antenna. Put it on there. I'm going to leave the ground off for now because of the. I'm going to want to reconnect the B minus over here. And this. So we can see the AVC voltage. When we get one, there's nothing there now. It's a 0. Okay, so we're way down low on the broadcast band. We want to go up to 15 megacycles. We're at 18, and the signal strength is high. And I'm just going to calibrate here. Okay, that's as good as I can do. 1000 hertz tone. 15. Here we go. It would appear to be a little ways out. So I find take a look at the meter for signal strength. That's 15.8. Signal strength is about 3.5, and now we'll go up. I'm pretty sure it's 900 up. Signal strength is lower. So that makes sense. That means we've got the. Oh no, I don't want to. I don't know. Don't even say it. Yeah, you can say it. We've got the target frequency, the local oscillator, and the image up above, and it's perfect. Good. Okay. Now we just want to make this tune 15. Let me go back. So I'm on the image now, or the way to actually say this is, this signal generator is broadcasting a signal at the image sensitivity point of the radio, which is 910 kilohertz above the target frequency. What happened? What did I bump? Oh, she's ready for alignment, all right. Right, so we bring this down. Now we want to drive this down using an adjustment. The adjustment would be 18A, which is on the back here. Oh, there's lots of weird stuff going on. Very, very microphonic. Okay. Wow. Oh, she's really ready. Who's doing that? Hey, where'd the signal go? Okay, don't anybody move. 15A. Oh, this is really sensitive. Maybe this is the one that's loose. Okay, so we want to bring this down to 15. So we're going to reduce this and then try to find it. There it goes. Reduce it some more. Okay, we'll set this to 15 now. As close as I'm going to get. Now we want to watch the meter. Okay, I forgot which way to turn this. This way. So we're doing this right at 15. You know, there's a WWV's right at 15. Is it possible it's picking that up? No. It kind of sounds like WWV is interfering there. Is that possible? Okay, so I'm going to swing the signal generator out. Turn it up. There's something there. Okay, we'll bring in the external antenna. No, this isn't going to help. Not like this. You have to actually put it right on there. Oh, we're back to that. Man! See, it's definitely coming from the antenna. What makes this interference? This is, years this has driven me nuts, and I spent hours trying to track it down. Never got anywhere. Okay, so the radio's aligned now. Appears to be working. From here, I think it's back in the cabinet for a test drive. Yeah, I think that'd be good to do. Cabinet, put it in the cabinet. Okay, honestly, I can't say I'll be sad when I see this radio goes, but I've got the antenna glued to the top here, and these clamps are just holding it while the glue dries, but I don't want to wait. So there we are, the knobless radio. So I'm going to put this knob on the tuning. Okay, let's give it a try. First, switch it off. Power on. We're on the broadcast band, and we're tuned. I can hardly see the pointer, somewhere in the middle here. Too bad I didn't clean this up. There. Remember, this dial is wrecked on the backside too. Okay, switch on. Now, I have no boosting going on here. This is just the radio and the antenna I put in it here in my shop. And it's a little bit of a, fat chance it's going to work well here, but let's see what happens. Oh, that squeal. It's just terrible. And it's picking up all of nothing. I think the squeals are happening where there's a station. No idea what that is. Can't say I've ever heard that before. Pulsing like that. Oh, this is not a good show. Oh, that's really disappointing. Okay, but not surprising. I'm not surprised. Just with the antenna on its own, it's going to have a hard time. And now on shortwave, there's really no hope. But let's give it a try. It's actually picking something up with virtually no antenna.
Well, if you read Paul Epistle, Paul feels very.
How'd I end up like this? Unless there's that terrible hum. Oh, volume up full. Okay, not the best result, that's for sure. So down around 9, way down here, we should pick up something. Doesn't want to work down here. Okay, now what if we boost this radio? We'll go back to broadcast. And the way we'll boost it is I'll put a coil here. What do I do with it? Okay, we gotta reach up here. We'll use this coil. So all I'm doing is connecting to an outdoor antenna, which I need to switch on. Right on top. This is probably going to work really well now.
Know that of the 65. For one thing, I think it's a good team. Like that, at the base.
Hey, they've had weekends of hurricanes.
York Bay, just west of there, approaching Spadina.
Warfare is entirely different, but.
Hope I'm going to get a copyright hit for that. So, French station. 800, 900, a million. So it should be right here. But in fact the pointer's over here. So try as I may. So with the boosted antenna it's good. We'll try shortwave again. And we'll just do it like this, but this shouldn't really help out much.
Que existen, son estos, obviamente, podemos llamarle, que van entre los 2.000 millones anuales. Solo está este caso extremadamente exagerado.
We'll try the 9.3 way down here. The radio just went quiet. Okay, well, it still has problems. I don't know what I can say to it. It has problems still. Oh my gosh, do I want to put more time into this guy or not? I'll spend... I don't know. I'm torn here. I prefer these things to come out really good, but I can't guarantee it. And, it's missing its antenna. I stuck one in there, but who knows if that's in any way good. This radio was originally brown, by the way. It's been painted with this kind of paint. I don't know. I don't think I can get more out of it. But I don't think I can get more out of it. Oh, I gotta stop here. Okay, so I don't know. Tomorrow this thing may still be here. I may do more to it, or tomorrow there'll be some other radio here. I'm doing something else anyway. I'll decide. So thanks a lot for watching to this point. I can't guarantee how all these come out, and there's only so much effort, worth putting into something like this. This radio is going to be sold off for $50, $60 maybe, maybe $75 if they're lucky. So I mean, there's no money involved in any of this either. So it's all kind of fun. That's the idea. But the fun is running out with this radio. That's what's happening. So thanks a lot for watching to this point. Who knows what'll be next on my bench. See ya.